Hey everybody, it's Chrissy's Line is Wootini here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for y'all. This week I went to the movies and I did not see Lilo and Stitch like a whole lot of other people, because, fuck the Disney live action remakes, they're kind of awful. Instead, I went and I saw Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2, except it's not called that anymore because they changed their minds. The whole Part 1, Part 2 thing, they decided that doesn't work for these movies and everyone was going to do it, and then they were like, oh, people don't like it, so they stopped. So now this one is called Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, which is actually a good title for what I'm assuming will be the final movie in the series, given that they just keep getting bigger and bigger and more expensive, but they're not making as much money anymore, so they can't possibly be as profitable. So I'm assuming this will be the very last one, but time will tell. Maybe this one will make a gajillion dollars and they'll say, let's do another. But I would like this to be the end, please. I think it's a good ending. Because when I saw Dead Reckoning Part 1, it had been a while since they'd made one. So I said, let me refresh my memory. But instead of just watching the last couple, I said, let me just watch the series from the start. So I took a few months before the premiere and I watched every single Mission Impossible movie. And then I saw it and realized you didn't need to. But I just kind of wanted to. And now with this one, however, it does. I kind of wish I'd watched them all. I was going to watch Dead Reckoning before this, but I didn't have 3 hours to sit down after work and watch this movie. And I could have split it up, but I was like, I'll just read the Wikipedia summary. Because the thing is that with this one, it actually does have like callbacks and flashbacks and references to the previous movies, and it sort of retcons a couple of things here and there to try to like bring it all together and make it feel like they meant it to be all of a piece, even though they didn't. It's not too egregious, the retconning, and it's just a couple of things, and it's like, okay, so you're trying to like make it feel like it's all of a piece. Okay, fine. Because you don't go to Mission Impossible movies for the story, because this story is ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of funny because the idea of this like rogue AI taking over the world and causing like chaos and disruption with like fake news and artificial intelligence doctored photos and whatever, and like it's both topical and stupid at the same time, because oh my god, a couple of times they talk about like this could destroy cyberspace, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't say cyberspace. It's so 90s and it's so cringy and it just makes the whole thing sound stupider than it already is. But like I said, you're not here for the plot. You're here for the action set pieces, which, again, are fantastic. It's very epic. The entire world is about to be blown to smithereens with nuclear bombs, so it's very apocalyptic. And, the IMF team must save the world, like literally saving the world from complete destruction. So that's fine. And there are some great fight scenes, some great action set pieces. That climactic airplane scene is like fucking ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god. So it's worth it for that. The story is kind of, like I said, there are also weirdly too many characters for the movie to handle well, which is strange given that the movie is nearly 3 hours long. You'd think there'd be time for everybody, but there is not. And there's this one guy on the team who gets like barely nothing to do. He doesn't even get a good moment, at any point. And I'm just like, why was he even there? And he's there because at one point they do need a third person for one thing. So whatever, no spoilers. But that's literally it. So it's kind of a mess, but the action is so good. And you're never bored in a 3-hour movie. That's impressive. Yay. And good ending. So let's hope it's an ending. and it was great in IMAX. So there you go. As for games, I have been playing some Infinity Nikki, though not as much as I used to be, because as I said, I'm kind of not as obsessed anymore, so that's good. Although I did get obsessed because there's this one of the limited time events going on right now. Apparently there's some kind of collaboration with like this panda rescue. So like there's these little panda missions that you can do, and you can get little panda outfits for Nikki and Momo. And oh my god, I'm putting Momo in that panda outfit as soon as I get it. But the panda's adorable, love it. But I've been spending a lot more time with Disney because I started to get paranoid that, like, you know, there's only a couple of weeks left, and, you know, I still haven't finished the Star Path. And at the same time as the Star Path, there was this Cheshire Cat Chaos event, whatever it was called, and I was trying to complete those missions as well. Unfortunately, the missions where you go around and clean up his paw prints, that was fine. I did those 3, no problem. The 4th one, however, you had to find pink cracks in the ground, and dig them up, and you'd get little purple memory balls. And they weren't regular memories, they were special Cheshire Cat memories that completed a puzzle. Unfortunately, I could not complete the puzzle. There was one piece left, and I feel like the game thought, there was some bug in the game where it thought that I had finished the puzzle, because literally every pink, purple crack I dug up gave me coins. I just stopped getting puzzle pieces entirely, and I was digging up so many of them, and all I was getting was coins, and I was like, fuck. And then I was like, oh my god, this is the last day of it. So, like, after we had dinner and watched TV, before I went to bed, I was like, let me just pop on, like, at like 11 o'clock, let me just pop it on and see if I can dig up a memory, fingers crossed. But when I went out at 11 o'clock, there was no more event. It was done. So I was like, fuck. On the plus side, the Cheshire Cat furniture that I got for the other 3 cleaning up the paw prints things was kind of ugly. So I'm not really too bothered that I didn't get. It was mostly just my collection OCD that I was like, I want it. I need to have it all, everything. But it's ugly, so I would never use it. So who cares if I don't get it? So I just said, you know, whatever. It's fine. Water off a duck's back. Also, the other day, I was playing Disney, and I finished a Star Path duty, and I clicked it to make it go away, and as the little the boxes shifted over to let a new one slide in, nothing new slid in. So I am nearly done, and that is a good thing. The one that's killing me, that's going to be hard to do, is the memories one, because those are kind of random when they show up or not. You know, you're just doing stuff like mining and fishing and gardening and whatever, and then sometimes memories pop up. So that's going to be tricky. There were a lot of memory ones this time around, so that sucks, because it's totally random when they show up. There's no tricks to make them show up that I can find, so I still have a couple of weeks left, so I should be able to find some memories at some point and finish this off. But it's also allowed me to play a lot more Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. I've also been playing a lot of that, as well as Disney, and then less Nikki. I finally went on the mission where you go and recruit Davrin, this Grey Warden, who has a pet griffin, which is pretty cool. But I just literally took one look at him and I said, oh, hello, you are my Dragon Age boyfriend. You don't know it yet, but I will be romancing you this game. Thank you. Hello. So, and not just because of the griffin. But what was terrible was after I finished that mission, normally you just appear back in the lighthouse and then you like talk to people and go on your next mission, pick another mission. Here, we like rode into the crossroads and got out of the boat and everyone came running up and they're like, oh no, something's happened. And I was like, fuck, it's going to be a minute before I can actually save my game, I guess. And basically what happens is the bad guys have sicked 2 blighted dragons on Minrathous and Treviso, and you must choose which city to save. And unfortunately, again, it's like, in my mind, I'm like, well, Treviso doesn't have the defenses that Minrathous has, so let me go help Treviso. Because that's the way my brain works. But it's one of those like binary choices that has no logic to it. You know, it doesn't matter. It's not like you do this and then Minrathous can kind of defend itself so it's not as destroyed. If I'd gone to help Minrathous, Treviso should have been completely annihilated. But it doesn't work that way. It's the same difference. It's kind of annoying. It's like with Starfield. It's like, which way do you go? One of your characters is going to die. Pick which one dies, you know? And it's too binary, and like logic doesn't enter into it. But as far as which city I wanted to be blighted and which companion I wanted to be upset with me, I was more okay with Nev being upset at me than Lucanus. So I'm like, Treviso it is. And you immediately head to Treviso. And I'm like, fuck. And there's like a little fight, and then you go up against this big ass dragon. And that dragon fucking kicked my ass. Like hardcore. It was bad. Like I could kind of avoid the breath effects, but he did this like lunging pile drive into the ground attack that I just could not dodge out of the way ever. And it just would hit me and I'd lose like half my health, and you can only have 3 potions on you at a time, which sucks balls. So yeah, that was hard, and I died so very much. And online, it was people complaining about how hard this fight is, and some people were like, get good, which not helpful. And then some people were like, all you really have to do is like stay alive. You don't have to kill the dragon, because that's literally impossible. You just have to like whittle its health down just enough to stagger it, and then it'll like fly off, and that's the end of the scene. And I was concerned I was going to have to lower the difficulty, but I did not. It took a few more tries, but I did eventually manage to like keep my distance and avoid the attacks and get my companions to attack it, and I'd occasionally throw my shield because I'm a warrior, so I can't really attack from a distance with magic or a bow and arrow. It's just my shield. So, like, I did what I could, and then we staggered it, and I ran in, and we were hitting it, and finally that was enough, and I was able to continue with the game. But I was just like, this is not great game design. Like, clearly obviously you're not meant to defeat the dragon, because you cannot. It's impossible. But like, sure, make it hard for us to hurt the dragon, but maybe don't make it so easy for the dragon to hurt us so that we have a fighting chance. Like, it was just so lopsided. Like, it was just this massive difficulty spike for one fight, which I was just like, that's not cool. That's really annoying. And it does not bode well for later in the game, when I'm probably going to actually have to fight dragons and to defeat them completely. And I will have leveled up and have great weapons and armor. But at the same time, unfortunately, I'm afraid they're going to be even more powerful, and it's going to be crazy hard. And I'm probably going to have to lower the difficulty at that point in order to finish the game. But we shall see. I don't know. That's enough. I've rambled on way too long already. So that's it. I finished the dragon fight. I'm now playing more quests, and it's fine. And, Nev is in Minrathous, and she'll probably show up pissed off at me at some point, but she's, taking a breath right now. And that's it. So come back next episode, and I'll have another movie review and more games, and maybe I'll finish the Disney Star Path. Who knows? I mean, I have something else to talk about. I mean, hey, the Switch 2's coming out. I'm not getting one, but, maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know. Come back and find out. Bye!